So you showed up early, got yourself some practice balls, but now you're basically just whacking balls into the fence. And not just the back fence. The only thing that's warming up is your frustration muscles. Don't do that. The key to a great range warm-up session is to get the right swing muscles firing and to get the brain to focus on playing your best golf. So let's do a quick warm-up session together. I've got 30 balls here, basically a small bucket at most courses, and I'll walk you through the key swing awakening and muscle firing things that I do to get everything feeling absolutely great before your round. Hey, what's up? I'm Manu. Great to have you here. So let's get right into it. And just a quick note, I'm assuming at this point you've already done kind of a basic body warm up to kind of stretch all the muscles, you know, maybe some jumping jacks, stuff like that. So we're gonna go right into actually just hitting some balls. So I've got myself a wedge here. I like my GSABB wedge to start with. It's a 49-degree wedge, 50-degree bent a little stronger because I needed it. And we'll start with just like a few kind of easy swings, right? It's been a few days, maybe a few hours, maybe a few weeks since you swung club. So just get your body kind of used to what it feels like to have the club in your hand. And really kind of, if you can, send your attention to the club head and notice how the club head kind of feels and moves as you're swinging it. Because really what you're trying to do is you want to connect your mind to the club head itself. So a few practice swings, just some easy stuff to warm up, right? And then we're going to start with something I learned from Tiger, which you hit a few balls just to warm up and you don't really care too much about where they go. That doesn't mean I don't line them up. So I'm still going to kind of line them up and we're basically going to go that way towards the yellow sign. And so I'm just getting used to what it feels like to have the ball get contacted by the club. Not trying to do anything fancy. I don't really care that much about where they go. I care more about how it feels to swing the club and how it hits the ball. So just something to kind of remind myself of what it feels like. Nice and easy. There you go. And I kind of feel my body as it's moving. Notice I'm not taking any like crazy long practice swings. I'm not trying to go real fast. I'm not trying to hit it low, high, any of that. I'm literally just taking some easy swings to feel what it feels like to hit the ball. So this is number 3. There we go. Okay. And next we're gonna hit a few balls to kind of wake up some of the swing fundamentals. But before we do that, let's wake up an internal fundamental, which I like to call my inner championship golfer. So reach into yourself and think about your inner championship golfer. How do you feel when you're really playing great golf? How strong do you feel? What kind of attitude do you have towards the game? All of that stuff. So bring that person out. So for me, the way that I think about that is I stand tall and I'm strong and I feel like I can hit any shot. I know that I'm going to bring out my best swing because that's just the way I am as my inner championship golfer. Now there's a scaredy cat part of me that doesn't think that at times, and we don't think about that right now. We think about the inner championship golfer. So with that attitude, let's go into some of the swing fundamentals. So if you've watched some of my other videos, you might remember that I talk about this GSABB, which is grip, stance, alignment, ball position, and balance. And so let's kind of wake all those up as we hit 5 more shots, still with the wedge, just a few more shots just to kind of get it going. So feel a good grip. How's this grip feeling? Right? Feels good. You're feeling like everything's lined up. It's good. It's correct. We're going to take a little bit of a line up here to the target there. Okay. Strong stance. You want to be balanced in the middle of your feet. I'm aligned properly because I set it up that way. Right. And then ball position. So I'm just going to double check my ball position. It's approximately about a club head inside my left heel. It's a wedge, so it's a little bit farther back from me. I'm okay with that. And then my balance, right? So my balance is center of the feet. So grip, stance, alignment, ball position, balance. Happy? Here we go. Still, we're going to take shorter swings, not get too crazy with this. We're still warming up. Nice and easy. Let's do another couple. We're going to do 5 in total, and really they're all just going to be focused on this fundamental of grip, strong stance, alignment's good, ball position's good, and good balance. And to be fair, it doesn't really matter where the ball goes. You might hit a little bit right, a little bit left. It doesn't matter. It's okay. The whole point of this is just the warm up, right? So it's not the outcome, it's just the warm up. So do that again. Good grip, strong stance, aligned, ball position's good, good balance. You might notice automatically as you're doing this, you start speeding up a little bit more, and that's okay. It's your body's getting used to making the swing, and so you're getting a little bit stronger. I had hit one ball before I started talking on this video, so I'm warming up with you. And so you'll notice just automatically you might swing a little bit harder. That's okay, as long as you're getting stronger. Again, grip, stance is strong, alignment, balance, ball position. It's okay. The other thing to note is when you're on the range, sometimes you get wind. So that was 3, we're gonna do 2 more. So when you're on the range, there's sometimes some wind, and so that's gonna affect your ball flight. That's okay, don't worry about it. It's good to notice if it's blowing really hard one way or the other, because that's gonna happen on the course, but otherwise, nothing too much to worry about. So let's do another one. Balance. See how that felt? Okay, now let's move on. So I like moving from this to a short iron, short-ish iron, so an 8 iron for me. So I'm gonna go to an 8 iron, and really the goal here is to kind of ground the swing a little bit with a slightly longer club. I don't wanna rush straight to a long iron because it requires more stability, there's more power, all this other stuff. So start with an 8 iron. So we're gonna hit a few 8 irons. And in this case, now we've already got grip, stance, alignment, ball position, or balance. The reason I keep going to backswing is because I actually have GSABB, and the 6th letter B is for backswing. So we're gonna add in a good backswing, so a good takeaway. One of the problems we all tend to have is we tend to go inside, so we're gonna do a good takeaway, and then we're gonna add in a couple other things with the hips. So let's just start with the first one. So I've got my 8 iron, I'm gonna line it up again. Grip, stance, alignment, ball position, backswing is good. All right, balance, sorry. Now balance is good. Now we're gonna add in the backswing. So a good backswing, just hit the ball. Nice and easy, don't have to go too long. And one thing you'll notice is my backswing is not too long right now. I'm not trying to make really long backswings while I'm warming up. A little bit later on the course, they might come up. Try not to do that, but it's just really easy, not trying to get too crazy with any of this stuff. The goal is to warm up. It's not to swing full out for 30 balls. So we're gonna do that again. This time with the backswing, I'm also gonna add in a little bit of a hip squat because I wanna get that squat to create the power and good sequencing. So good backswing, squat, hit. It's also important, make sure you keep breathing while you're doing this. It's really easy to start holding your breath. It's not a good idea. So, backswing, squat. And you'll notice with the squat, you get a little bit more oomph out of your shots. And then the third thing that I'm gonna do while I'm doing this is, along with the hip squat, make sure just turn into the heel. So again, what you'll notice is I'm kind of adding in little bits of foundational elements. Everyone should be doing these. It's nothing like super special that you shouldn't be doing, unless there's something special for you. If you've got body problems or things like that that don't allow you to do those, obviously don't do those. So, but generally these are like general principles for most people, good swings. So good balance, start with backswing, squat, and a little hip turn. And you'll notice we're getting more and more distance, which is great. It's awesome. So that's 3. Then I'm gonna throw in a couple more. I'm gonna hit a low shot with this 8 iron, because who knows, might need to punch out from under some trees. So we'll start with that. So in this case, I'm just gonna put the ball a little bit more center of the swing, kind of hit a bit of a low shot and cut the swing off shorter. All right, got a little draw out of that. Okay. And then I'm also gonna throw in, so number 5, I'm gonna throw in a high shot. And this one's just in case, I need to carry a tree, something else. So ball a little farther forward, my stance, still strong. Just gonna feel this ball go up in the air. Yep, that worked. Great, okay, done that. Let's move on. So we'll move on to a slightly longer club. I like a 5 iron because unless you really need to hit like a 3 iron or a 4 iron, there's gonna be a lot of those. 5 iron's a good kind of second shot club. So I'm gonna bring mine in. My 5 iron goes about 200 if I hit it fully. And the key with the 5 iron is to just kind of, as we said earlier, I want to start feeling some of the longer clubs. I've built more stability with the 8-iron now, so it's easy, kind of an easy progression up to the 5-iron. And really what I'm trying to do is just keep my tempo, keep those key things I just talked about, the fundamentals of a good backswing, right? A good, nice square backswing. I want that hip squat and that turn, and I want to keep good tempo. I don't want to be swinging too hard. It's something we tend to do with 5-irons or longer clubs. We're trying to, the inner gorilla comes out. Okay, let's line it up. We're gonna hit 4 shots. So first, just a normal 5-iron shot. That was good. A little bit of a push, it's okay. Next up, we're gonna do a low shot, because another great punch out club. So for a lot of us, punch outs are pretty important. You'll notice I step away from the ball and kind of stand behind again. This is part of my pre-shot routine. I'm building it in more and more. I'm not just scraping and hitting. So I'm gonna go a little lower, which means change that back, the ball position a little bit farther back, cut the swing off a little low. That worked. A little dry, might have duffed that a little. It's okay. All right, next up, let's do a high shot to balance everything out after that low shot. So same thing, good tempo. Ball position a little bit farther forward. Good backswing. Worked. And then let's close out those 4 with 1 more. Last one, we're just gonna do another normal shot. So if you need to, just go back to that grip stance alignment ball position. Just building in those fundamentals as we go. So I'm also noticing a little bit on my tendency today, so I'm pushing the ball a little bit to the right. Not a huge difference, there's a wind. I was turning to kind of feel which way the wind's coming. I think the wind's also pushing a little right. That's all good. So I've got 4 shots with my 5-iron, we're moving on. Now we're gonna move on to some longer clubs, even longer clubs. So let's go with 3-wood. And for 3-wood, again, I'm probably gonna hit a few 3-woods today to probably on the par 5s or maybe off the tee. And so really my goal is to stay stable and hit some nice stable 3-woods. So same thing as with the 5-iron in terms of kind of strong muscles, getting that core engaged and working. So for the 3-wood for me, my key is to stay stable, but also I want to go back to my fundamentals of backswing and hip turn, etc. Balance. Wasn't too bad. Okay, let's do a couple more. So one thing to watch out for is it's really easy to try to hit the 3-wood too hard. It's a big club, right? It's farther away. Oh, well, a lot of that kind of wailing on the ball comes in. Don't do that. Just don't wail on it. See if you can stand a little taller, get nice and balanced, put a good swing on it. Too bad. There we go. Okay, one last one for good luck. Then we'll move on to the big dog. Notice I'm taking my time setting up. There's no rush, keep breathing. The worst thing you can do coming out of a range session is to be rushed and like out of breath as you get to the course. You don't want to do that. So I'm gonna set up again. I'm distracting myself with my own commentary there. Breathe. Tried to kill that one. There you go. If you don't breathe or you get caught up in it, you might hit shots like that. So don't do that. Now, for some people, what happens is you're like, oh, I don't want to end on a bad shot. It's not a big deal. This is not going to dictate how I play today. right? How I'm gonna play today has already been decided in my mind. I'm gonna play like the man. It's gonna be awesome. So, big dog time. Let's get some tees. All right, here we got the driver, a tee, let's get everything set up. One thing I also just realized with the 3 wood that I just hit is, I went back to an old tendency of mine, which is to set up with a little bit of an open stance, and that creates more of a cut for me and I don't hit the ball well. So it's good to notice is one of my old tendencies came up. So here we go with driver, and obviously the key with driver is hit driver well, hit driver easy, don't be nuts. We're gonna hit driver a lot today. There's no point trying to kill the ball. So let's do that. So same things we talked about earlier, grip, stance, alignment. It's a different swing because we're gonna hit up on the ball. And so just remember, it's okay. Change it up, back swing, squat, and go. Not trying to swing out of my shoes just yet. Just taking it nice and easy. Get another one going. So we're gonna hit a few drivers, just kind of get a feel for the longer club. It's farther away, so there's more core engagement required. So nice and easy, do a few of those. I get $1 every time I say the words nice and easy, so I'm gonna keep doing that. All right, smooth. Hit up on this a little bit. That was a pretty good swing. So good, need a new tee. So you'll also notice that for me, I'm kind of standing on a little bit of an incline here, trying to, because that's basically the space I have to hit this driver. So I'm gonna take that into account because when I'm standing on a little bit of an incline, I'm not gonna be able to transfer the weight to my left side as easily. That's okay, it's not a big deal. We play with what we have. And so just gonna make sure I keep everything going, and then I'll modify it on the course as needed. Another really good one. It's working. So I was just thinking of a line that I really like. I heard it from, I don't know if there are any Jocko fans here. Jocko Willink, he's a Navy SEAL, ex-retired Navy SEAL commander who is very famous now. He's got podcasts, all this other stuff. I started listening to Jocko back in the day. And one of the things I love that he says is the words no factor. So for example, I'm having to hit off a little bit of an inclined tee for this driver, no factor. How warmed up on a mat instead of on grass, no factor. And it's just a great, I love having that mentality. So feel free to copy that. I really like it. No factor. He also has another one where he says good when things don't go right because it gives him an opportunity to work on something new. I like that too. But no factor, definitely a really powerful one to use on the golf course. So hit your shot a little bit right, got to hit out of the rough instead of the fairway. No factor. Because why psych yourself out before you hit the shot? There's no reason to. So this is the last driver shot. We're hitting 5 drivers. It's the last one. And take it nice and easy. Do that again. We're just gonna keep focusing on the fundamentals. Good backswing, squat, turn, get going. One thing I like to focus on my driver is stay nice and wide. Just gonna do that. Money. So that was quite good. Great. Driver's warmed up. Not a single shot under 320 today. Feet. Anyway, oh, the jokes get better. Maybe, who knows? We're almost done, don't worry. All right, next up, I've got a 56-degree wedge. I just want to hit a few wedges just as we kind of come to a close of the session. So I'm just gonna hit a few of these wedges just to kind of get back to a good tempo. Easier clubs to hit. My core's already warmed up. And so I'm just gonna hit some like nice, easy wedges. Nothing too crazy. A little more distance wedge maybe even. So for this one, I'm putting in middle of my stance. And so all that work on backswing that we did already is gonna be really helpful on the course when you automatically think about, am I hitting a low shot or a high shot? Do I want to put the ball farther back or farther forward in my stance? So easy one. So I'm just gonna hit this with this yellow sign right here, which hopefully I can see. Hopefully you can see even with the backlight. Let's go. And, oh, just over. It would have been awesome if I'd hit that first time. Like, bang, oh man. On camera, oh, dude, would have celebrated. All right, and I'm gonna hit a little high one here. A little bit higher, a little left. A little left, a little higher, a little fade, boom. Oh, feels so good. The tempo, just amazing. That's what you're gonna feel too. It's gonna feel amazing. All right, and we're gonna do one last one, just kind of get a feel. Now, if you're gonna be hitting a lot of wedges today, you can always add in more wedges in your warm up. So maybe take some of the other balls out and do that. But for me, this is perfect. And I'm gonna hit kind of like a little lower flighted wedge. Maybe just kind of 70 yards. Club twirl. That was dope. Okay, and now I left two balls on purpose, which are for the first tee club. And so for me, usually I hit driver on the first tee here, but let's assume I'm hitting 3-wood on the first tee here. So what I'll do is I'll take out whatever club I'm hitting on the first tee. So in this case, 3-wood. And I learned this again from watching Tiger. He talks about this. So you just want to hit this shot. So maybe you need to hit a straight shot, maybe you need to hit a little bit of a cut, whatever it might be. So just, that's what you're gonna hit. And the reason you're doing that is so you kind of train yourself when you get out to the course. You're like, oh, I just hit this shot, it's easy. So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna hit just a straight 3-wood, you know, just down that line. So I'm gonna go through my pre-shot routine where I see it. That's it. So that ball went right. It's not what I was trying to do. I was trying to go straight, a little push to the right, but not that far right. It's not a big deal. I think it's another kind of key point. The question is, did I miss that on purpose so I could explain this to you? Who knows, possibly. The key point really is, I think on the one hand, I like Tiger's model of I'm gonna hit that shot in practice so I can prove I do it, or I've done it and I can do it on the first tee. But also, let's go back to no factor. So let's suppose you miss it. So what? Doesn't mean I'm gonna miss it on the course. I'm gonna nail it on the course. So we're gonna do another one. That's why I saved 2 at the end. There you go. That was actually dead straight. Nice. So I feel good because I've hit all the shots I need to hit. I'm ready for the first tee. Mentally, I've reminded my brain of all the key things that I want to put into my swing. So I've got my grip, stance, alignment, ball position, balance, and backswing. So GSABB. I've got my backswing, my squat, you know, staying behind the ball with my hip turn. So some core ones. I've thought about low, high shots, all that extra stuff. And as we pack up, take a second to just breathe and notice, do you feel more focused or do you feel more free? Think of how great this warm-up session's been. It's been awesome, right? But you also want to remember that this is not a predictor of what's going to happen in the round. It is a warm-up session. You're getting all your muscles working. You're getting, you know, your body, remember all the stuff needs to happen. This is not a guarantee that you're going to play really well or really badly today. So it doesn't really matter what happened here as long as you got the core things going. So anyway, I hope this video was really helpful. If it was, please let me know in the comments. Also, I'm wondering, would you like a longer one, maybe with like a medium bucket, 60 balls? And we can walk through that too. So let me know if that's helpful. And obviously, please use the buttons in the comments and tell me what you think. It was great having you here. Have a great time on the course today. I hope you play well, and I'll see you again soon. Bye. Hey guys, what's happening? Hi. I don't have any food. I got nothing for you. You should get going. This is not going to work well for you guys. Like a Disney princess over here.